1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone, welcome back to Music with Ryan. In this week's featured lesson, we're going to take a look at an original composition entitled The Colorado Train. And as that title states, it kind of has that Colorado bluegrass feel in my ears anyway. It's kind of that jam grass style, although we're not going to be improvising, but we are going to get more expressive. We're going to use major pentatonic and major scales and combine the two to give it, again, a little bit sweeter sounding, a little bit more openness with the sound and the vibe. And so I kind of hear that, again, that Colorado style bluegrass in this composition. If you want to access the full-length version, download the tabs. The audio tracks, which I should mention as well, are way more enhanced these days. I have a friend, Elliot, out of Nashville, creating me some beautiful sounding backing tracks. It just creates such a nice vibe and some great energy in there. So the backing tracks are going to be like you're playing with a band, as you just heard at the beginning of the intro to this video. So yes, if you want to access everything, click the link in the description below. Let's start walking through the lesson. All right, so this arrangement has an A and a B part. In the A part, we play through 3 times, okay? Each time, I'm going to vary that melody ever so slightly, so we land on different melody notes, not just root notes, but we're going to do thirds and fifths of the chord. And we're also going to it's going to get more difficult each time as well, a little bit more notey, a little bit more expressive. So the first time will be very beginner, and then of course, by the third time, it'll be a bit more advanced for sure. So let's put those first few measures on the screen and start breaking it down. In the key of G, of course, and it has a pickup on beat 4. So the melody starts, again, on beat 4 of that first measure. Here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3. And of course, right out the gate, if you aren't familiar with this shape right here, this is what I consider an F shape, and but it's sounding a G chord here, and we're going to be using it a lot. So you really want to get familiar. It's essentially coming from the larger bar chord, G bar chord there, and then it kind of shorthand, and then even further broken down in just those 3 notes. So we're going to be using that shape a lot here. I get into it right away. I'm going to slide from 1 to 3. And it's a grace note slide. So it's just a real quick slide. Happens on beat 4. So 4. And then the next measure, second finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the G. And then I'm going to bar these 2 strings and then strum it. 2 and 3 in. And then 3-5 hammer on the B. And then high E on the 3rd fret. You don't have to move anything. And then 2 and 3, and then 5th fret on the B, and then back to 3 on the B. So we're sticking right within that shape, or just notes right around it. 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And then moving forward here on measure 4, 4-5 hammer on the G string, and then play the 3rd fret B, strum, and then 3rd fret B again. again, we're going to be mixing the major pentatonic sound along with the just major scale sound. So the catching the C note in there gives it a whole different vibe if I would have decided not to use that note. That's the fourth of G, and it's involved in the major scale but not in the pentatonic scale. So again, it gives it just a little bit, to me in this piece, a little sweeter sound, and just kind of, I don't know, more openness, if you will, as opposed to just the pentatonic, because we kind of start like that. That's very pentatonic, but then just adding that C note gives it a different vibe, in my opinion. So those first four measures up to tempo sound like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, so moving forth here. All in all, we have 45 bars to work through here. So, you know, hang in there. We got a lot of notes to cover, but I think you find the melody really catchy. These next 4 bars sound like this. 2, ready, go. So we ended here on the 3rd fret B, and we're going to play it again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So we have a little syncopation there in measure 5. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, up, down. So we've got a little syncopation there in measure 5. And we have a tie from the end of beat 1 over to beat 2, so we don't play beat 2. As you see the little line in there, that's a tie. So 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 is a quarter note, and then we're gonna play 4th fret on the G, and that's a quarter note as well. And then we're gonna shift back down to 2nd fret G, and we're gonna finger a D chord. And you can even have the high E in there when you strum as well. We're going to strum through here. I may or may not have that marked on the score, but it's kind of like a D9. Again, giving us more room, more openness, a sweeter sound, as opposed to, you know, the D major. But the rhythm there is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and so I'm just strumming through there. And we'll get more expressive in the 2nd and 3rd times through, but 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then measure 7, we slide back into the 3rd fret B with the 1st finger. That's the same rhythm as measure 5. Okay, that little syncopated motif or theme, if you will. And then measure 8, open G. We slide 3 to 5 on the D string, and that's the G. We're gonna drone on the G note. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, it's over top of a C chord here, but the melody is on the G note, so the 5th of the chord. So all 4 of those together. 2, ready, go. Alright, then moving forward, I'll play this first section all the way through here so you can hear it all tie together. In a second, I'm going to go through 4 more bars. So measure 9. Okay, kind of the same rhythmic motif that we got going on in measures 5 and 7. We do it again in 9. So it's all on the open G string. 1 and 2 and 3, and then 2 on the D. Then measure 10 goes back to the G chord, but the melody is on the D note. And then we're going to drone over that as well on the 5th fret of the A. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then here, measure 11, we're going to go down to the 3rd fret, A, and then just strum the open string. You see the middle strings are we're just going to strum through there. It's almost like I'm doing a G sus. Okay, a G sus4 to be specific. I'm having a C note in there. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and sounds a bit dissonant here, but with the band, with other players, everyone filling out the chord, it totally works. So the melody is real simple there, just C, and then measure 12 to the B. Okay? It's kind of the cadence, if you will, kind of the C, I love the way that sounds on the recording along with the band too. Again, it might sound a bit dissonant or a bit odd by itself, but so those 4 bars, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I got my pinky down there on the high E, 3rd fret, just to kind of, in case I hit that high E, I do want that G note to ring. And I want to back up and just talk about that strumming pattern in a measure 11 and 12. So down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now my right hand keeps moving. Of course, there's a tie in the middle, but again, my right hand is going to still go up and down no matter if I'm hitting the strings or not. I want to keep that tempo, the beat, the pulse going within myself. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Down, down, up, down. Okay, so let me back up and play these first 12 measures so you can hear what the first time through the A part sounds like. So 1, 2, 3. So let's move on here. And it kind of repeats itself, but now we kind of start the progression, so to speak, on the 5 chord, on the D here. So just at the top, we do G for 4 measures, but then kind of when it repeats itself, we go right to the 5 chord. So you have to perhaps listen to the recording a little bit to catch on to that. But that's what's happening. So it's kind of like White Freightliner a little bit, how the White Freightliner starts on the 4 chord, and that's how the progression starts. Here, again, now we're going to be kind of starting everything on the 5 chord. All right, so now we start opening things up and getting more expressive right away. So measure 13, here's that rhythmic motif that we've been doing. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And I'm almost always sliding into it from the 1st fret to the 3rd fret with my 1st finger. So, you know, you may want to use your 3rd finger there, 3rd fret, but I want to get into that position and I want that slide, okay? I want that slide to be heard. That's kind of part of the melody here. So, measure 14, we go down the 2nd fret G, strum the D, 2 and 3 and then 2-0 pull on the G, and then 2-4 slide here on the G, 3 on the B, 4 on the G, slide down to 2, open G, and then right here we play 4th fret on the D, which is F sharp. Okay, so again, pulling from the major scale, and now it's creating a different vibe to my ear. Oh, I'm sorry. So then I'm going to get down to the fingering. It's a little different here if you notice on the C chord. Okay, to execute this arrangement, I'm actually going to go from take my 3rd finger and shift it down to the 2nd fret. And then 1st fret, I'm going to play the 1st fret on the B with my 2nd finger. So 1, and then do cross picking. B, G, D, B, G. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So those 4 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. time to ready, go. Cool. So we'll move on when you're ready. If you want to catch the rest of this lesson, download the tabs, the audio tracks, and access the sound slice, click the link in the description below. Take care.